So the transition of power in county government is a big deal, right? This county government is a pretty significant organizational enterprise with lots of opportunities to influence the community. So when a new county executive is going to come into power, and this is literally only the second time we've had to do this, in her case, Jessica wanted to have as broad a sense of what's going on in the county as possible.
Government is at its best when it's accessible and accountable to the people that it serves. We designed this process to be community-driven, but government-informed. So community leaders had an opportunity to learn more about what government does, and government officials had the opportunity to learn from the community what government could do. We also made sure that we were building on the strong foundation that was already here. So the transition team was guided by the Livable Frederick Master Plan, the Alice report from the United Way talking about some of our families that are struggling to make ends meet, as well as the Equity Leadership Team's report from 2021 and the Climate Emergency Mobilization Work Group's report from 2021.
So the idea is get as much information as you possibly can in a pretty tight time frame. And to do that, you need a lot of people involved. And I think she chose the 7 policy areas that she focused on during her campaign.
It's also very important to have a diverse group to represent these work groups. And that is really and truly what we had. When we had that kickoff meeting, we had such a diverse group of individuals. Frederick County is so rich with talent, information, and not always everyone has an opportunity to be heard.
We broke the transition team into actually 8 groups. One, a senior advisor group of folks, tried and true leaders in the community that could give their perspective on the recommendations coming in from the working groups. And then 7 working committees focusing on education and workforce development, economic development and jobs, public safety, public health and human services, sustainability, infrastructure and transportation, housing and quality of life, and government innovation. And so we received recommendations from each of these work groups, and they were all tasked to think about those issues, how they play in the entire community, and how we can continue to make progress on those important areas of county government.
They were also asked to keep in the forefront the 3 values that our county executive wants instilled in everything going forward: accountability, sustainability, and diversity, equity, and inclusion.
Former County Executive Gardner did a very good job of designing and building a charter form of government. And these recommendations, I think, will help Jessica look beyond what's been done, look more toward the future than the past. And I think she's going to have a great start with this report.
So the final report has 64 recommendations, but we're really excited about the next step of prioritizing those recommendations based on what needs short-term action and what needs longer-term planning. It's probably not a surprise that some key themes emerged really from all of the work groups. The transition team encouraged us to be intentional about our focus on diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging, and really making sure we're thinking about how we engage the public, taking down barriers, identifying new and different ways to make sure folks feel like they're a part of Frederick County government. In terms of some of the key ones that are going to really affect our constituents, making sure we have a website that's really constituent focused, that we're reviewing some of our processes and policies and thinking about great customer service so that folks know that they can quickly get the information that they need or a decision that they need to move forward with something in their lives. We want to make sure that we're here as a partner with the community, and there are a lot of recommendations that circle around that theme.
It's suggested that Jessica might want to look at creating a standalone housing division for the issue of affordable housing, which was one of her key campaign priorities, was to create opportunities for people to be able to afford to live here in Frederick County. In education and workforce development, Jessica said paying teachers a competitive wage is a high priority. The committee has some suggestions on how to do that.
It's hard to say which ones are going to be implemented first, where it's going to come. That's going to come with our county executive as she does her work with this.
So we'll be looking at what is short-term and what is long-term and working within our county divisions to create an implementation plan. The work has already begun on some of these recommendations. For example, Public Safety and our Department of Fire and Rescue Services is already taking action on implementing some of the recommendations from the Laird Line of Duty Death After Action report. You can learn more information about the entire transition team process and view the final report on our county website at www.frederickcountymd.gov/transition. Together, we can shape a future for Frederick County where everyone can live, work, and thrive.